back to Kiseki. When we are planning a trip to East Asian countries such as Japan and China for tourism, for business, visit to a relative or for a cultural exchange program, we face huge language barrier. We find ourselves in situations such as wanting to greet someone, want to buy something or want to ask direction, and we imagine ourselves getting embarrassed or stuck in such situation and not being able to enjoy our trip fully. This leads to often postponing or cancelling such trips. But now there is no need for all this. In today's video, we are going through 10 Japanese phrases which will make your life easier in Japan. First, konnichiwa, which means hello. You can say this to anyone, anytime in Japan. When you meet someone, say konnichiwa, hello. Second, arigatou, arigatou, which means thank you, or domo arigatou, domo arigatou, which means thank you so much. Japanese people like to thank others very much. So if you thank them in their own native language, you will be greeted with a broad smile. Third, sumimasen. Sumimasen. Sumimasen practically means excuse me. For example, if you want to call someone or something to your attention, say sumimasen. Sumimasen also means sorry in Japanese. There is another phrase in Japanese for sorry, which is gomennasai. But you will hardly hear someone saying gomennasai in Japan. Instead, they'll say sumimasen, which is sorry. Sumimasen also means thank you in Japanese. For example, someone made way for you or someone poured tea for you. You can say sumimasen, which means thank you for taking the efforts. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu or yoroshiku, which means please take care of me. Yoroshiku is often used at the end of your introduction. For example, konnichiwa, watashi wa Shweta desu, yoroshiku, which means hello, I am Shweta, please take care of me. Fifth, daijoubu desu ka? Daijoubu desu ka means is it okay if I do something? Daijoubu desu ka is actually used for asking permission for something. For example, if you want to take your shoes off at certain place, you will ask daijoubu desu ka? Or if you want to taste something, you can ask daijoubu desu ka? Or if you want to pay by cash instead of card, you will ask daijoubu desu ka? Eigo wakarimasu ka? Eigo wakarimasu ka? Eigo means English, wakarimasu ka means do you understand? When you are in a tourist place or on a road, you don't know who speaks English or who doesn't. So you'll have to ask them, Eigo wakarimasu ka? If they say yes, your life is at peace. If they say no, you'll have to try out your acting skills. If they say sukoshi dake or chotto dake, which means little bit, you will have to make small English phrases and ask them. Seventh, when you go to a shop and you want to ask for something, for example, you want to ask for a pen, you will say, pen arimasu ka? Do you have a pen? This is specially for vegetarians. When you go to a restaurant and you want to say, do you have something that is meatless? You will say, niku nashi arimasu ka? Niku nashi arimasu ka means, do you have something that is vegetarian? Eighth, if you want to ask Japanese people for location or directions using Google Map, you can ask, kore wa doko? Kore means this, doko means where. Kore wa doko? Where is this? Ninth, if you go to buy something and you want to ask, how much is this for? You will say, ikura desu ka? Ikura desu ka means how much this cost for. 10th, if you want to refuse someone or something very politely in Japanese, you will say daijoubu desu or ii desu, which means thanks but I'm fine, or no thank you, I'm okay. One small tip, if you understand what Japanese people are saying, say hi. Hi in between. Hi means yes. If you like today's video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Also, don't forget to press the bell icon below. Our next video is about Japanese gestures, which will also make your life easier in Japan. So, stay tuned. Arigatou gozaimasu.